Hello, hello. I see some participants joining the room. This is great. Hello and welcome all. We'll just leave a minute or two to give a couple minutes for some more people to join, and then we'll get started. That's great. I see some buzz in the chat going. This is wonderful. Hello, everyone. Yeah, say hi in the chat. Say where you're from. Wow, all over. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, so let's get started. For those still just joining, this webinar will be recorded. So um, for anyone that comes in late, they will get the recording for this. But good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you're joining us. And welcome to today's session. We're here to discuss how to automate your sales process, brought to you by Maximizer and Zapier. My name is Steven Malinowski. I'm the product marketing manager at Maximizer, and I'll be your host. Before we begin, I wanted to take you through some quick housekeeping to explain Zoom for those not familiar. In the bottom center of your screen, you'll see your toolbar where you have access to a public chat. I see many of you have already said hi, but continue that buzz, continue that chatter throughout our session today. It's meant to say hi, to give kudos to your speakers. You can quickly also send reactions if you particularly like something that one of our speakers are saying. But for any questions that you may have, please put them in the Q&A chat. Your question will only be visible to yourself and our lovely panelists. And as I mentioned before, this session will be recorded, and that will be sent through a follow-up email for all the registrants of this session. So today, we embark on a journey into the world of sales automation, where a quick codeless setup can increase your productivity, increase sales, and save you hours and hours from your workflow. The Maximizer product has taken a generational leap forward to improve the aesthetics and the experience, including some exciting new features that are critical to how you work with your customers daily, like our app directory, which has evolved into a healthy ecosystem of your favorite apps, many of which are connected by Zapier. The special thing about these Zapier apps is that we've done some of the lift for you by already pre-configuring specific workflows to get you started quickly. This webinar will be one of many educational touchpoints that we'll have with you, and we'll continue to be in touch with you as we look forward to 2024 and beyond. So thank you for joining us today on behalf of Maximizer and Zapier as we dive into automating your daily repetitive tasks. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce Zapier's Senior Community Manager, Elizabeth Roberts, and Maximizer's Integration Product Manager, Elena Zakharova. They will explain why Zapier can help you automate your tasks, followed by explaining what automation is to begin with, and then diving into how Zapier works with some common use cases. At the end, we will have a short Q&A session, and we'll wrap up the day with that. So without further ado, Liz, take it away.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Stephen. And thanks so much for letting me join y'all today. As mentioned, I'm Liz Roberts from Zapier. I work on the community marketing team, and I have been at Zapier for coming on 4 years now. So it's been a minute. Before we dive in, let's do a quick poll of folks here to see, are you currently using Zapier? Or even have you used Zapier in the past? I'm also curious. So that still counts too. Just curious how many of y'all out there are familiar with us and have tinkered around with the tool as well. And okay. Ooh, no, that's great. This is going to be an awesome session then. And then a few of y'all who are familiar with what we're up to at Zapier. Cool. All right. Great. So good mix of folks and users with different familiarity with Zapier. I'll start off then with a high level of what challenges we at Zapier see folks facing that often lead them to solutions with Zapier. And then I'll back it up and tell you a little bit about us and how we help. So some of the challenges we see folks having out there, your apps aren't connecting, right? People in organizations finding themselves spending hours copying information manually between apps or missing key information entirely. Team limitations, right? When systems don't talk to each other, rolling out processes is cumbersome, can be a bit annoying to say the least, and projects move slowly, especially if they're owned by a central IT team, which is traditionally what we see. And finally, lack of flexibility. A lot of folks find native solutions that theoretically connect and talk to each other, but oftentimes there are limitations, either in the experience or access to key data that you need for your workflow. So some things I'd like you to think about before we dive in and how to use Zapier are, do the apps that you're using every day have native integrations? And if not, is that impacting you? I venture to think it probably would. What do you do today with your systems that talk seamlessly to each other? Are you saving time? Or is there room where you can save time? All right. So skipping over to our wizard friend here, some of those things that I just mentioned, that's where Zapier comes in. And what Zapier focuses on is automation, which we define right here clearly. It's a technique that's used to operate something automatically. So kick the manual stuff out of the window, and dare I say that we operate automagically. Next slide, please. Cool. So ta-da, the magic of Zapier. This is where we step in, like I mentioned. So with Zapier taking those 3 buckets of cumbersome tasks that we can often run into, when your systems connect with Zapier, you don't need to worry about important information falling through the cracks. We take apps and we allow them to talk to each other, passing data, important information, etc. Teams are able to be more agile and roll out sophisticated processes more quickly because the whole team is empowered to create workflows when they need them. So these workflows can be built without a developer and with 0 coding experience, which was wild to me when I joined Zapier because I don't have coding experience, and I'm also not a developer, but I can put workflows together using automation, which is really cool and really powerful. It helps us be more effective as teammates, even internally. And it really allows folks to pivot and iterate as needed so you can move more swiftly and effectively. And additionally, teammates aren't working around quirks that native systems often have. They can build what's best for them and their team. Again, without coding experience, without DevOps, which is pretty cool. So what does this look like? Alina's going to dive a bit more into it. But in our next slide, with Zapier, we work with what we call Zaps, all right, which is essentially how we connect apps to each other and pass along that data that I mentioned. So the way I like to think about it is every app has a set of triggers and actions. If you can bump me to the next slide. So when this certain things happens in one app, then that happens in the same or different app. And it's pretty cool to think about these integrations that Zapier has because we integrate with over 6,000 apps. So allowing these apps to talk to each other, again, using that when this happens, I want that to happen with our triggers and actions is really powerful. So how do you know what you should be automating? And we suggest having rolling things against 3 different buckets. So 1, it's a task you have to do frequently or on a schedule. So let's think about scheduling personalized emails to send out to leads after you make contact. Second, it's a task that involves moving information between apps. I am not a big fan of copy and paste, nor am I a fan of manual work. So let's think about when you first have a contact as a lead, you put the information into a CRM, but you might have to do that or you might have to do that manually. You can do it automatically. And lastly, a task that's repetitive and time consuming. Again, the copy and paste situation, saving email attachments from the cloud in this example. It's not complicated, but it's a lot of clicking, downloading, uploading, etc. If you could just have that happen automatically, you'd save a lot of time. So thinking about any task you currently have or have had in the past that takes you away from doing what you want to be doing, it's usually a good contender for automation. And with that, I will hand it over to Elena to dive into some current Maximizer use cases that you all can use right now.
Hi, I'm Elena, a product manager at Maximizer. It's fantastic to see you joining us today as we dive into this exciting journey of automation. And thanks to Liz, we've already learned today that workflows, also known as ZAPs, follow the when-then logic. And let's explore a real-life example of a ZAP. Say you want to create a new lead in Maximizer for every lead coming from the Facebook lead ads. The trigger would be new Facebook lead, and the action would be create a new lead in Maximizer. If you like to additionally notify your team about the new lead, you can add another action and send a message in Microsoft Teams every time a new lead is captured. And taking it a step further, you can also add that same lead to your active campaign subscribers. And we've just created a ZAP. So ZAP is an automated workflow consisting of a trigger and 1 or more actions. And actually, Zapier allows to add up to 100 actions per one ZAP. A simple way to get started would be through the Maximizer app directory, where you can filter out for Zapier integrations and access over 40 integrations with the pre-configured workflows that cover popular use cases for sales, marketing, and customer support. We've carefully crafted hundreds of templates for you so that triggers and actions are already there, and you only need to connect your accounts and add any necessary customization. You can access previous workflows from the app directory, or if you search for the Maximizer CRM app on the Zapier website. Feel free to use our templates as a foundation and add steps or replace apps as needed to suit your unique business requirements. Let's now delve into another example from the sales world with more details about the actual ZAP setup process. In the video, I will guide you through the integration of Calendly appointments into Maximizer Calendar. This process will not only help to manage your schedule efficiently, but will also eliminate the tedious work of manual data entry to Maximizer, as the automation will also create new leads in Maximizer for prospects who schedule appointments with you in Calendly. So let's kick it off.
Hi, welcome. In this session, we will explore a Zapier workflow that creates leads with appointments in Maximizer whenever clients schedule new events through Calendly. Additionally, I'll demonstrate how to add these leads to a MailChimp audience of your choice. As you may already know, Maximizer is a leading customer relationship management software designed to help businesses efficiently manage their contacts, leads, and sales processes. It enables you to track and nurture leads, schedule appointments, and maintain detailed records of interactions with clients or potential customers. And Calendly, on the other hand, is an online scheduling tool that simplifies the process of booking appointments and meetings. It allows users to easily select a time slot that suits them, eliminating the hassle of back and forth emails and phone calls. Now, let's dive into the details of the workflow. To enable this workflow, you'll need accounts with Maximizer, Zapier, and Calendly. And if you also want to include MailChimp, you'll need a MailChimp account as well. If you're using one of the popular predefined workflows, like this one, triggers and actions are pre-selected for you, and you only need to ensure accounts are connected for those apps and customize the details as needed. In this case, the trigger is a new event scheduled by prospect in Calendly. You need to make sure your Calendly account is connected. These are all the fields that you'll get in the response. Now, let's proceed to the first action. So the first action is a lead creation in Maximizer. Then you need to make sure your Maximizer account is connected. And then you can set up the action itself. You will need to map the fields coming from Calendly Maximizer. So we can use an invitee name. We can include also the phone number if it's provided by the invitee. We can choose the sales process the lead will be added to, and the stage if you want. And I would like also to add the email in here. Now we can continue and test this first action. It passes the testing successfully, and we can now proceed to appointment creation. Second action is an appointment creation in Maximizer. Your Maximizer account should be already connected at this step. And to set up the action, you should assign the subject. I will use the one coming from Calendly. We'll also include the lead name. Then you need the start date and the end time. And just set up all the fields that are marked as required. And include the lead in that appointment that is being created in Maximizer. And you can include additional data in the appointment description. Looks like we are good to go. And the test is completed successfully. Once you created your lead in Maximizer, you can enhance the workflow even further by adding this lead to MailChimp subscribers. This will help you stay in touch with your prospects. Use the Add and Update Subscriber in MailChimp action and connect your MailChimp account. Now you need to choose the audience you want the lead to be added to and fill in all the required fields. So we need the subscriber email. You can also add specific text to this new subscriber. So I want to add a Calendly tag, include the name. You can add as many actions as you like. And for example, make the automation send you Teams or email notifications when new leads come from Calendly. And once the template is ready, we can now check if the lead is actually available in Maximizer. So let's navigate to leads. We only have 3 leads in here. And if we refresh it, we can see our David Asher new lead and the new appointment assigned to him. In the appointment details, we can see all the fields that we've included when setting up the workflow. So you can use this connection link when the time comes. Now let's see if David was added to our Maximizer audience in MailChimp. Currently, we only have 4 contacts, and if we refresh the page, we have David available in here. Awesome. And this Zapier workflow can help to streamline your sales efforts, empowering you to manage your schedule effectively and ensuring you have access to essential information at your fingertips in Maximizer. Until next time, continue maximizing your sales potential.
Now, equipped with the basics, you can also easily build apps from scratch. If you don't see the app you need in our app directory, just search for it on the Zapier website, and it's very likely that you will find it there. In this video, I'm connecting Maximizer to WhatsApp, and you can set up this single-step Zap in minutes and start getting WhatsApp notifications about your leads, contacts, and their interactions right away. And Zapier integrates with thousands of apps, including those that are widely used in sales. I'm very certain that you can find those that you use in your day-to-day business activities. Every professional, be it in sales, marketing, customer service, or finance, can find some room to eliminate the hassle of a manual data transferring and to streamline their workflow. And here are a couple of examples and ideas of what you can automate with Zapier. So first of all, syncing leads and contact information between Maximizer and other apps. For example, bringing leads from the web forms like Gravity Forms, Jot Form, or Ninja Forms, or from the marketing apps like Google Ads or Facebook Ads, Insta Ads to Maximizer. Then also notifying your team about new leads cases in Teams, Slack, or over the email. Also tracking customer interactions in Maximizer as notes so that you can easily access them from the timeline. For example, you can track interactions from the customer support, let's say from Intercom, then Desk, or Help Scout. Also information about new or updated orders from e-commerce apps like Shopify or eBay. Also payment and invoices information coming from ChargeBee, PayPal, or other financial apps. And also proposal information, for example, from DocuSign or PandaDocs. And you can automatically add subscribers to your marketing campaigns. For example, if you're using MailChimp, ActiveCampaign, or Constant Contact, you can send automated and customized emails to nurture your leads or engage customers in Outlook or Gmail, whichever you use. For example, automated follow-ups when the order status is changed or meeting is completed. Or you could leverage automation to manage and track meetings and events, like use my calendar example, or you could also apply it to Eventbrite events. And I hope now you feel empowered to give it a try and to build your first no-code automation. Just take it one automated step at a time, and remember, the biggest room in the world is the room for improvement. Thank you. I'm passing it back to Stephen.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Elena. I love that metaphor with a room. The biggest room is the room for improvement. And Liz, I love the automagically. That word is just so descriptive of what Zapier can do. And just when you have the automation turned on, you can't imagine how you would work before that automation was already set up and programmed, right? So let's start with the Q&A. I see a bunch of questions in here. I see one of them here. I'll start with you, Liz. How would someone get started with Zapier?
Absolutely. So we offer a free account to folks. I mean, some people have been with us for years and are still on their free account. But if you pop onto Zapier.com, you'll be able to go through our plans, go through our pricing. But yeah, you can sign up for free and use your free account until you outgrow it by using different tasks, etc. So yeah, pop on, give it a whirl. We also have Zapier Learn, which is our learning environment, which takes you from here are the basics of Zapier, going in a little deeper from what I initially relayed in my earlier slides, and then all the way down, taking you through the life of webhooks and AI, etc. So it's a whole gamut.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah, it's super easy to get started. And then, like I said, once it starts going, it's just, it's so amazing. So I have one here for Elena. I think this would work well with you, was where someone's asking, where can I find the zaps that I can connect with Maximizer through Zapier?
Yes, so if you navigate to zapier.com and search for Maximizer CRM app, you will get on the landing page for Maximizer with the list of triggers and actions that we support, and you can try them on right away. And yeah, this list is also extending through time as we add more triggers and actions. Your requests and wishes are very welcome, so you can submit them over the user voice or through the support at Maximizer.
Yeah, that's great. And I'll just add to that. There's maximizer.com. We have our integrations page, which are fully listed with all of our integrations. So you can search up on there and see exactly what's there. You can look inside the Maximizer app on your platform, or as well as Zapier.com. I see a lot of questions with, did I see WhatsApp or HubSpot or different things like that. So there's over 6,000 available apps on that can connect with Zapier. So Zapier.com, and right there's a nice quick search bar that you type in HubSpot and it can be right then and there available. If there's any others that I guess are not available, maybe Liz, how would you go about that? I guess if sometimes, I think it depends on the partnership. Sometimes it's available to connect with, but sometimes it may not. Do you want to touch upon that?
For sure. So short answer is, if you see an app in there, or you don't see an app rather, and you wish that we had an integration with it, there's an option on our support page, and it'll actually guide you to that. So you can let us know, hey, we really want this app. You can also build your own integrations or your own app. So that does require a bit of, or a lot of developer insight, but it's something that is possible too. So yeah, all ears, let us know. And obviously the more folks that request integrations for particular apps, the more likely either we'll be able to partner with them or we'll be able to manage them on the Zapier side too.
Yeah, and great, thank you. Yeah, and I'm trying to go through here. There's so many questions. It's so fun to see. Got one here for Elena. Where can someone go for helping to troubleshoot these automations, I guess, or putting Zapier together overall, and do would someone need the most recent version of Maximizer?
Yeah, you can always ask our support. For some of these integrations, we only provide support to SLE clients, but most of them are available for everybody. You can also ask Zapier. Of course, they provide a great support 24/7. Very nice to be talking to them, and just let us know if you have any issues. We are also there to help you.
Great, thank you, Elena. And so just for that specific email would be support@maximizer.com, that you can reach out directly to our support team. I believe for more documentation and things like that, Elena, do you want to touch upon that as well? We have our Max Docs, as we call it. Can you go through?
Yeah, sorry, we have docs.maximizer.com, where you can find the documentation for Zapier integration. We also extended with more information, and we're also working on some video tutorials that could be helpful. But yeah, as Lisa already mentioned, on Zapier, they have this whole knowledge base with a lot of useful information, especially when you are just getting started. It's great, structured, and yeah, really helpful.
Yes, awesome. One for Liz here. Does someone need, and I saw some in the public chat as well, in terms of resources for troubleshooting or any coding knowledge to build an automation? So I know you mentioned at the beginning of the webinar that you're not a technical person, but you can set it up, and like Elena's video, there is some steps to go through, but it doesn't necessarily require that super technical knowledge. Can you just go through that in terms of how to build those apps, or is there a difference between a single step and multi-step, or is there something that requires something more technical?
Yes. So it's a very timely question, especially with our partnership with AI, OpenAI right now, and ChatGPT. So if you pop on, create a free account, pop into Zapier, the first thing you're going to see is a question box at the very top that says, hey, like, what do you want to automate? What are you trying to do? We are, and it's not always perfect because we're still learning with OpenAI and ChatGPT. But if you type in, hey, I want to automate, gosh, when I add something, an event in Calendly, I want it to do this, and then I want it to do this. So touching on what you said, Stephen, if it's one action or it's two actions, three, etc., those are called multi-step zaps. But back to what I was saying, you can type it in our AI box and it'll spit you out something pretty darn close, at least in my experience, to what you're after. Of course, you can tweak it from there, your actions and your triggers, but it's really, really cool. And it's a great way to get over that hump of like, oh, I want to automate these two apps, but how the heck do I know which trigger, which action? Just type it in and we usually get pretty close. As far as being more technical, for sure. And I saw some folks in the chat saying, sometimes when I have coding with my zaps, it can take me a day, etc. I'm so keen to know if that person is still on. I'm so keen to know where they're leveraging coding because, of course, you can do more powerful things if you do have coding experience, if you do have CSS or HTML, etc. But you don't have to have it by any means. If you're dealing with webhooks, if you're dealing with building your own integrations, sure, like that's going to be handy, especially with building your own integrations. But again, if you're leveraging ChatGPT, let that code it for you. And if you want to use Code by Zapier too, there's all kinds of possibilities, and we're evolving so fast with the advantages that ChatGPT and AI have. But no, to answer your question, Stephen, way back when, no, you do not need coding experience. Of course, it's helpful, but I say leverage AI. If you run into a situation where you need it, leverage AI and let it do it for you.
Amazing. Thank you. Yeah. And I guess contextually with Maximizer, like we've mentioned before, we have our support at maximizer.com. We can do all the work for you and set up pre-configured zaps and templates. We have the ones that are in our app directory. That's, not why we've added them, but we've done a lot of research into most common use cases to help sales and marketing and support. So we've pre-built those workflows and templates. So if you go into our app directory, you'll see that, and it's already built for you. And then that's when the ideas will start flowing. You'll say, oh, I need this to connect to this. And so I see a lot of questions like, can I, grab a contact from Calendly and put it into our Maximizer list? Or can I, have some sort of DocuSign template or document come in and have a notification sent to my team? So the answer for all these things are yes, we just have to set them up. So it's the beauty and the magic of Zapier. So so we can do that work for you. If you have any specific use cases, you can contact us at Maximizer. You can talk to your account manager. You can talk to our support team. We have a couple options in terms of services to help you with those things, to connect to a couple of Zapier apps or whatever it may be. So the options are endless. I just wanted to provide that sort of confidence and trust with us. So there was a question that came up a couple times with the type of version of Maximizer, how does Zapier work on all versions of Maximizer? There was the Zapier work with on-premise. So I think, Elena, that's an easy one for you, I guess, to answer.
Yeah, I believe it works with versions starting from 2020, all of the on-premise versions, like newer versions. It works very smoothly. It's just that the setup process, like to enable the integration itself, is a little bit trickier. Well, basically you just need to go to the app directory and activate the integration, and from there on the flow is the same to build your zaps and to enable them. Yeah, so it is there. You're very welcome to use it for on-premise too.
Yeah, and I imagine, you know, being up to date with the latest version is always a benefit. With our cloud platform that's updated, you know, on the monthly, so there's always new apps that we're adding, and you know, with the cloud platform, it's for certain that I guess the simplicity is a little bit more on that front, but with on-premise it does work as well. So I guess we have a couple minutes left here. I'll ask maybe one more to Elena, is, you know, when will the endpoints in Maximizer be extended, or what's for us to look forward to Zapier and the future of Zapier and Maximizer? Sorry for stumbling on my own words there.
Yeah, we are actively working on extending the list of triggers and actions that we support to make it more flexible for you. And yeah, next year, I believe we will extend this list and all of your suggestions and ideas and use cases that you would need to have covered. It would be really valuable for us to know about them. So you're very welcome to share it over the support or just in this chat today to help us with prioritizations, because there is still so much more that we can build with this integration between Maximizer and Zapier.
Amazing. I will see here maybe one more for Liz, I guess. Is there anything about the Zapier plans in terms of like pricing, or is it how easy is it to get started?
Yeah, so as far as pricing is concerned, so we price by task. And once you get in the system and you can sign up for free, like I mentioned, but once you get in the system, tasks will make more sense. Essentially, once something is completed in Zapier via a Zap, that's going to be your task. So that's what billing is associated with. So once you get in there and see what you can automate, what you might need to automate, get a lay of the land, then you can determine, oh, I might need this plan or that plan, or hey, I'm totally fine with this free plan too. So yeah, go in there and poke around. Like I said, we have customers who are still on the free plan, and some customers who said, whoa, I need to do so much more than this, and needed more tasks, etc. So yeah.
Okay, great. Well, I think we'll call it there. I think we've had a really nice discussion with both Liz and Elena, and thank you so much, Liz, for taking part in this, and thank you, Elena, for sharing your expertise. Do you have any closing words?
No, just thank you everybody for joining. It was a pleasure to share this with you. I really believe that it's a great functionality that will help you to improve your workflows and processes and to help you grow your business.
Yeah, so to close today's session, on behalf of Maximizer, and I'll say on behalf of Zapier as well, we wanted to say thank you to our attendees and all of our valued customers. We will follow up with a recording of today's session, along with a quick survey and some options to help you get started, to hopefully wrap up everything to answer all those Q&As. If you have any specific questions, you can reach out to your Maximizer account manager or email support@maximizer.com. if you have any questions. We also have a chat on our maximizer.com in the bottom right corner of our screen. You can always just chat there, or within the platform as well. In our help center, there's also a support chat, so you could directly access someone during normal business hours. So thanks again and take care. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.
Should I just close this and that will save the recording?
Yep, I think so.
100% sure? Because, okay, I'm just gonna close the call, right? Like end the call.
Yep.
And webinar for all.